wouldn't have that. Well, it's not that many growers to begin with. I mean, it's a lot of growers, but when you get to population, it's not really that many.
Yeah, but it depends on, again, it's, what are they looking for? Are they looking for a dude that's just gonna do the work and give them all the profit?
I see. Yeah.
Are they just trying to rip off the fucking customer? Are they actually producing good weed?
Yeah.
Are they not? Again, like, Abby's on her way over at some point, and she worked for places, and she was like, it just wasn't worth it. So it's like, we'll see what happens.
When she said it just wasn't worth it, what do you mean wasn't worth the money?
Had so much fucking mildew, and they couldn't get people to come and stay.
Yeah.
And she was doing all the fucking work and getting sick from the fucking mildew and shit.
Yeah, that's not cool.
So, and again, mildew's a reality, but at the same time, when you're dealing with a commercial grow-up, it should not be a big reality like, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I'm beginning to realize a lot of these grow ops are new to them too.
What?
They're just like these guys I've been running into that had these big giant illegal grows. They just look at YouTube and go and try to grow. They don't really have any knowledge.
They got capital, I know.
Yeah.
Again, it's back to the world of capitalism, where capital rules all, and that's where we're living.
Yeah, that's what we're living in.
I know. It's one of the reasons we're not growing. Because if you think about it logically, if we lived in Oklahoma or we lived in Washington, we would have 2 grow ops going. At least 1, but a possibility of 2.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact they've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars up there. Since 2018, they've been giving Mount Morris $55,000 just to keep their fucking spot.
Oh, so they've spent a couple of $1 million on it?
No, yeah.
Well, close to $1 million.
Yeah, it's close.
Gotta be close to $1 million.
And then he spent $100,000 procuring land and doing whatever the fuck he did with the guy he was paying and shit like that. He never got to the city part of it. But if it was $1,000, which it is, it's $1,000 fucking fee. Boom, done. Have a nice day. Grow what you want.
Yeah.
We'd already be growing.
You're
but
right.
we don't. We live in
You're
a
right.
fucking bullshit, half-ass fucking capitalist wannabe fucking...
Rules and regulations.
Not even rules and regulations. Pitfalls and... No, it's basically...
Greed and pitfalls.
It's legit set up hurdles set up to keep the lower class from getting to where they want to go.
Yeah.
To keep... And again, when you have that, you don't have
Keep the status quo.
Yeah. Do you get what you have in the dispensaries right now, which is bullshit weed?
Well, yes, the majority of it is. But I haven't, even when we had, even when we
Not
went,
sponsored.
even when we went to the dispensaries and did our little rundown on different dispensaries, when we asked for top end stuff, most of the time,
But it's not, again, what we did 2.5 years ago isn't what's in the dispensaries anymore. Because back then, you could still get caregiver shit. Now you can't.
That's
unless
right.
It's like, and even then, I'm of the belief that if it's something that's really good, like something like if you were to give them Deadhead, they're going to have customers that specifically get it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's going to be a set, you know, either the owner keeps it because he wants to smoke it,
or his high-end customers.
or his high-end customers get it. To where, because again, you go in there now and it's literally all the same shit. It's Bud Light and Budweiser. There's no actual craft in there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. No craft bud. This is awfully brown.
What?
Very brown.
Really?
That doesn't look brown to you.
I don't know. It looks like Death by Punch.
No, I mean, I know, but it's... Some of the punch is greener than, like, maybe with crosses.
Yeah, I think they got mixed up.
That's what I'm saying.
I think they
'Cause
got mixed up.
You do?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive they got mixed up. I think I got a couple of them that are like the different variations, or because the one at Parkside that you just trimmed up doesn't look like anything that's being trimmed up here. It's all like there. It looks like the Death by Punch I remember, which is Deadhead looking.
Right.
Where these ones are more purple punchy, less deadhead looking. But, so yeah, I thought about that the other day. If we were, and again, yeah, we could have tried. I could have tried to get them to move, but it's not gonna happen. I don't want to go to Washington because Washington's technically really expensive.
These are technically really expensive.
I'm pretty sure it's expensive. It's like the cost of living there is high.
In D.C.?
No, it's Washington.
Washington State.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yes and no. Yeah. You know, Washington State has a lot of backpackers. It's a big backpacker area. That in British Columbia.
Oklahoma's filled with a bunch of people who were...
Oklahoma, I have no idea about Oklahoma.
It's filled with a bunch of people who were against weed and then are making a bunch of money off of it.
Yeah, Oklahoma. Never been there, never had a desire to go there.
Yeah, I don't have one either. That's the place I'm not interested in.
Oklahoma, yeah. I think, wait a minute, Oklahoma. What happened there? Something's in the back of my mind about Oklahoma. Was that where Wall Street took place?
What?
Was Oklahoma where Wall Street took place?
Is Tulsa in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Yes. Where the Black Wall Street happened?
Yeah.
Yep.
See all that Oklahoma and Utah and all up in there? It's sketchy for me.
I mean...
Especially that Utah. I met a black girl from Utah about 3 or 4 years ago. She was kind of weird. She said she grew up in Utah.
Really?
Uh-huh. Her dad was some kind of executive, some company. I think it was like a tractor company or something that was big. And they had their headquarters in Utah.
Yeah, that's where the Mormons are.
Yep. That's where, what's that politician's name? The one that tried to run for president. That helped start the, man, what can I think of his name? I'm not even high.
What politics? Just try to start what?
He's a Mormon.
Oh, Romney?
That's it. Romney.
It's fucked up, that's all you had to say.
Romney. What a nutball.
And the sad part is he's fucking sane.
You're right, compared to some.
To be honest with you, if he gets elected, we're not where we are now.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because he doesn't get a second term.
Right.
And we get somebody different. It's fucking crazy.
Politics is just a bunch of, I don't know, man.
It's not real. It's dumb.
It's not. It is
like
man.
high school.
Because at least here in the United States, the political thing is so fucked up. Because it's disgraced by money. You know?
Yeah.
These politicians in the United States, they're out for the money. And I'm not going to say 100% because nothing's 100%. But there are so many power and money-hungry politicians in America. They need to change certain. And another thing too. I'll be honest with you, man. All that shit that the Washington and all them did, and Hamilton and all those guys did. It might have been correct for the time that they did it, but we're upholding and holding on to a lot of shit that's 200 and 300 years old. You know, shit changes. That's why that Constitution has to change. There has to be amendments to the Constitution all the time. Because as history changes and the complexion of America changes, it doesn't compute with that. It really doesn't. We're living in a weird time.
Mm-hmm.
We're living in a future that depends on the past too much.
Trying to find an exit strategy.
I got an exit strategy.
Yeah, you do.
And not that my exit strategy is perfect by a long shot, because I do my research on that all the time. And I was talking to the girl from the Philippines last night. We talked for a couple hours last night. And I said, do you have a lot of insects there? She says, oh yes, lots of insects. She told me, she said, when I get up at night and cut the light on, there are cockroaches running all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, you live in a warm planet.
Oh, but that's because she lives in a poor area.
I know, but...
You know, so you're going to get that there. You know, she pays $60 a month for rent, man.
I mean, that's what you should pay here.
You're right. Actually, a lot of people... I think after you get a certain age and you've done so much in America, you shouldn't have to pay taxes or nothing else.
Well, I'm fucking nuts in a sense that I think that as rich as we are, every American should have 5 things.
And those 5 things are?
They should have food,
Ding,
healthcare,
ding,
power,
ding.
a form of transportation in a sense of public transportation, not like a car,
Got you.
but
Ding.
like transportation. And
Good
stuff
transportation.
Well, transportation's so 6 things, but the transportation is the wrong one. Education and housing. I don't think it's something that people should, in a country that has the ability to...
I think you're forgetting one thing.
Huh.
Americans need to study and really enforce humanity in this country. Humanity needs to be taught in the schools, everywhere. We wouldn't have the problem we have now if people... And another thing too, when I went to school, we had a class called civics.
You still do.
No, they don't.
I had it.
They don't have it now.
I'm sure some schools.
I was looking at...
If you go to a school that's...
Well, if you go to a
black,
private school...
No, you go to Rochester Adams.
Listen, on Jimmy Kimmel,
Uh-huh.
they talked about that. But these kids, people in their, I say they definitely in their 30s to being a teenager, they don't know anything about civics. Jimmy Kimmel proved about talking to the man on the street.
I know, the man on the street thing, again, that's because our education system sucks. There's no... For one, you have one side of the spectrum saying that educated people are the problem, and then you have the other side not helping people get educated.
Properly educated people are not the problem.
No,
if you're properly educated. This is just my opinion. If you're properly educated.
Well,
that's why I say humanity. You have to teach people the basic things first. You know, how to treat animals, how to treat the nature, how to be, you know what I'm saying, eco-friendly. They don't teach that. Not as a whole that you have to learn when you're coming up. Because, you know, there's too many people, man, that just are just too evil, too violent. And it's because of our society.
Yeah, people are evil and violent for a reason. It's not because... No one's born evil and violent.
No, it is a learned thing. And I just, you know, some people say, oh, you're just against this and you're just against that. No, I'm not. Have your video games. Have all that stuff that you want. But don't give kids violent video games at too young of an age. That needs to be later on. I got friends... I've been around years ago,
I think
not lately.
Different. That's part of the problem.
No, all kids are the same, isn't there? There's no difference. What difference?
I was a different child than my fucking nephew. I can tell you that much.
You mean you had different interests?
No. Different mindsets. I was literally thinking about death from the time I was a kid.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
All the way through. Most kids don't perceive that shit.
I think now they do more.
No, I think most kids are still irrelevant to it.
No. Not at these school shootings and all this shit.
Oh, yeah,
no.
You're right.
No, it's different now.
If you're in school, it's different.
Yeah, it's different now.
You're right. You're right. It is different. More kids might be of my mindset, but at the same time, if you're not dealt with death, like the first death you deal with, real death, not like.
Well, yeah, you talk about death in your family,
Yeah,
or
I'm talking like
brothers,
significant
sisters,
one, yeah.
fathers, mothers. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I didn't deal with death until I got, as far as a family member, I was in my 40s, late 40s, before I had to deal with death with a family member.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's a wonder why you were able to actually go and do the things
It was just,
that were risque.
but I experienced what death was when I was younger because of Rusty Brown.
You lost a friend.
Yeah, well, he wasn't a friend, but he was a close person to me. As far as we went to elementary school
he
together.
was just an acquaintance.
Yeah, he was an
Somebody
acquaintance
in your class.
And he was the first person I had experienced a death experience with, because he got hit by a car on his bike, doing something that we did all the time, And that was the first time. But I didn't go to the funeral or nothing like that. I wasn't that close. You understand?
Yeah.
But it did affect me.
Yeah, of course it's going to affect you. But if it was your best friend who you spent every day with,
It would have been even worse.
oh, it's even way worse.
Yeah, it'd been even worse. A close friend. The first time a close friend of mine died I must have been, again, a close friend. I was at least in my late 30s.
Nah, I lost this dude that was kind of like a older brother to me when I was in my 20s.
Mm.
Like 19,
Yeah.
something like that, 18, 19, 20. No, 21, 22.
In reality, death is just a construct anyway.
I know.
This is a construct.
Because it's something you don't know anything about. No one knows the answers to the other side. So it's a fear thing. It's a fear of not knowing the answers and not having control of it. When you have control is everything. Everyone wants to have control. And when you start taking people's control away, it's when they start acting irrational.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They start feeling more fearful of shit when you take control away.
Mm-hmm.
More things can affect them.
If they don't want you to. You can learn to let go of it. That's the whole point. If you want to feel, how you say, zen, then you have to be able to understand how little control you have over every given situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing you can control is how you react. That's the only control you have in your life, is how you react to situations that are pushed upon you.
Yeah.
Or you have to deal with. Because again, how many choices did you make that you could have sworn they were the right choice, and then 5 years later you're still dealing with the consequences? Not talking about me dealing with mental health issues to where every choice, all the bad choices were choices to just kind of cover up the holes.
Yeah.
You could say the hole in my heart, just to cover it up. Buy a stupid car, take out stupid student loan debt so you can buy a fucking Jeep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to have these things.
Yeah, because society told you had to have these things.
My dad, it was more my dad, because...
Yeah, I mean, still. If it wasn't your dad, there'd been television, radio, advertising.
No, I know that, but with the proper father figure, you can get a little more.
Because, let me see. Yeah, during the hippie era, I had to have the right bell bottoms, I had to have the silk shirts, I had to have all of the accoutrement.
Yeah, I remember when you had to actually wear, think about what you were putting on.
Oh, yeah.
I actually wasted brain thought trying to figure out if this clothes made me look appealing to whoever.
Yeah.
To everyone, not just...
Yeah, everybody goes through that. Because I remember, when the hippie thing hit, I had straight leg pants, and certain types of shirts. I had to have paisley, I had to have bell bottoms, I had to have llamas vests, I had to have this, I had to have that, I had to look like Jimi Hendrix.
Did you try to look like Jimi Hendrix? I mean,
Yeah.
you're the same age, weren't you? Around the same age?
No.
Is he older
Oh,
than you?
I'm not sure.
Because he was young as fuck when he died.
I'm not sure. He was 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were close. We were close. We were within 3 years of each other. Mm-hmm.
Think about the universe where him and Tupac survive. I think they killed Tupac because they were worried about his political force. They predicted it.
I don't. And I'll tell you why I don't. Because he wasn't that... Until after his death, he really wasn't that. He was bigger after his death than he was when he was alive.
No, he was
Oh,
not
yes.
in my generation.
Oh, yes.
In your generation, maybe.
Oh, yes.
No, you're not understanding.
No, I understand what you're saying.
For my generation, he brought, like, literally, because again, NWA is a little too much. You, as a young white dude that lives in a fucking small white town.
Okay, so tell me, other than maybe one or two songs that Tupac did that were inspirational, other than a couple.
His first albums were a little bit better and the inspiration, but when he got to Death Row, he did Death Row for what he wanted. He wanted to be able to get across the country and make the money. And once he had the money, he understood what the world was in a sense of money is power. He made millions and he was going to keep making millions. My point is just like Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Like all these people, Martin Luther King, if you believe there's a conspiracy, he was a part of it. Because he was on the same level for my generation as Malcolm X was and Martin Luther was for yours.
Oh, no.
No.
I understand what you're saying.
By that,
No,
he could have been.
Influence-wise.
No, because he was about the poor. He wasn't about, again, he was on Martin Luther's level of, again, we have a problem, but at the same time, we need to bring people out of poverty. We need to start at the bottom and bring them up.
Bootstraps.
Yeah.
They call it bootstraps.
We need to do that to help. And then once you have that happen, then it helps alleviate the top and bring some power from the bottom to the top. And when you do that, you actually get you get equality in a sense, a better equality.
You know what I call that?
Huh.
I call that white inspiration.
What do you mean?
A lot of times when white people like something that's black or Indian or whatever, they make it more flowery than what it really is. Not that that's a bad thing.
No, I get it.
It's not a negative thing because they're not seeing it. They're seeing it from their perspective.
Like what's his name doing what he did with the fucking music, Elvis Presley.
Oh yeah.
Toning it down just enough that it wouldn't totally fuck up the people. And again.
But that wasn't Elvis.
I know, it was his people.
It was the people around him influencing him to be that way.
He was just a puppet. Trying to get money.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he wanted that money because he wanted to do good things for his mom. He was a mama's boy.
Yeah, whatever. But, again, no one talks about Martin Luther and that fact. That he was about getting equality from the bottom up, and when you do that, it helps because again, most black people back then were in the bottom. So he's like,
okay, so what good did that do him?
He got shot for it.
He got assassinated.
I know.
Yeah.
That's my point. If you listen,
and do we know to this day who assassinated him? We don't really know.
No, probably not. I don't know.
Really know. We'll probably never know. Somebody knows. But it ain't us.
You mean who was the actual one that pushed the dude to assassinate him?
Who told somebody to go and kill him?
Again.
And paid them to kill him. Because they didn't do it.
No, but it's like Kennedy. Why did Kennedy die? Because people believe Kennedy wanted to bring the bottom up.
Yeah.
Again, would he have? Probably not. But maybe he would have, and that's why they killed him.
See, you got a point there to a certain degree. Because I think if you try to do things that are really good for people, period, I think you bring on the ire of the upper class.
Yes, you make them understand their self-worth.
What they call the Illuminati. Or some people call it that.
Again, Bill Maher...
Well, didn't Tupac talk about the Illuminati?
Bill Maher and Joe Rogan can think what they want about how they deserve to be millionaires for telling fucking jokes. While people are starving and they're making your food. The reality is we pay people the most money to do the bullshit shit.
Privilege.
Why is it set up like that? It's set up so that people kids don't have to worry.
And it's not just white privilege, it's money privilege is what it is.
I get that. They're letting a little bit, again, but it's back to, because the white people were so dominant up top, and was a few over here. I mean, again, on the world scheme of things, white people are poor.
Yeah.
Period.
Everybody is. On the world scheme of things.
Compared to, no, what I mean is, compared to the amount of money that's in Asia, the amount of money that's in the Middle East, and the amount of money that's in India. Mm-hmm. Like, the reality is...
The money's there, it just isn't distributed
right
to the masses. But
saying,
they have unbelievable wealth.
Yeah, oh,
they have unbelievable...
The Middle East is...
I just looked at a thing last night. This one Maharaja in India, he don't do nothing. He has like 30 airplanes, all decked out in gold and stuff. He's got palaces.
I mean, they're their own problem. They have a caste system.
I'm talking about this guy is super duper rich.
I get that.
You know, I mean, he's probably richer than any American because they don't really know how much money these guys got. They got ancient money.
Yeah, again,
and you know, and just like the guy said, it's not just money. He said it's the way the people kowtow to them. Over in India, they really kowtow.
Yeah, it's a caste system.
Yeah, they kowtow.
And that's what they're trying. They've been working on since the 70s. They've been implementing a caste system in this country.
Yeah.
Through the education system.
Yeah.
They use the education system to basically weed out the poor.
And to change history as well. They do both. Come on, what is that? What do they call it?
Double talk.
No, woke. Being woke.
Oh, I know.
And they don't want their kids to be taught wokeness. In other words, they don't want history to be taught as it really was. They don't. Certain parts of history, they want to say,
I know.
It's crazy.
I mean, the winners are always like that.
It's insane. But again, I go back to my point. It's a simulation.
It's not a very good one.
Oh no, it's not for us maybe, because we're in what I call a minimum security prison. Earth is a minimum security prison. And you ask me why it is?
Minimum, my ass.
No, it's a minimum. Because we can run around on the surface and do whatever we want to do and have fun or not have fun or be destructive or be evil or be good, be kind, be a priest or whatever we want to be. But we can't get out of here. We can't get out of here. Only a handful of people have ever gotten past our atmosphere. Think about it. And we're not even sure if they really did that. There's people that doubt that they ever went to the moon.
Wow.
Because there's some people that say they can't get through the Van Allen belt. It's just too much radiation.
I mean, you know how I think of it. I'm telling you, of the way our microbiome is basically running the show, it's too much variance. When you get outside the gravity, you get outside the air, you get out, like, you have to be breathing in fucking bugs every second to be alive. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you have a HEPA filter, it doesn't matter what you do, you cannot get away, unless you seal yourself in a completely HEPA sealed room.
You
still are, because every time you breathe out, you're putting more in the air, and then you breathe in the back.
It's a never-ending battle.
It's not even a battle. It's a relationship.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
That's the point. It's not a battle. It's an actual relationship.
Yeah, but I think it's all meant to be. I think it's all a plan.
Well, no shit. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think it's all a plan, and
you deal with what you can deal with.
And we're sitting here questioning things about it because we don't know.
Because we're high?
And we don't know. It's probably good that we're high. That's the good part, because that makes you want to think into things. Even things that seem absurd. That type of thinking opens your mind up. And that's what you want. You want an open mind. Because that closed mind stuff is crazy. I really don't know where this country's going. I'm not really positive about this country in the next 4 or 5 years. I really
It happened in the 70s, so it's a matter of, is it the same?
No, this isn't the same. This is a whole new... See, I'll tell you what my theory is. After World War II, because we wanted these scientists, and from Germany, these Nazis, these SS motherfuckers, do you know that? I think it was 16,000 Germans in the country. So that was, out of that 16,000, how many were Nazis? How many were SS? They wasn't checking for that. They wanted that technology. So they let them all in the country. And when they let them in the country, they started little enclaves. They hooked up with the Ku Klux Klan. A lot of them went down to Argentina, down to South America. They said there are whole cities in the mountains in South America. They speak German. They don't even speak. They speak German. Their German names on the streets. All of that. So my theory is we never really got rid of the SS and Nazis. We never got rid of them. We brought them over here for purposes. And they spawned a lot of the anti-this, anti-that, a lot of the white supremacy. That's all from Germany, man. That's all from Hitler's Nazis.
I mean, it's a good percentage. You mean, okay, here we go. So, by that logic, I'm guessing that you're right in the sense that, yeah, come on in. That, hey, all right, guys, chill out.
Hey, you guys. I like the rainbow rocks. Are those new?
Yeah.
Did she just do that?
Yeah.
You threw it out front?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got bigger.
They look beautiful.
They got bigger.
Yeah, hey, come on.
Is that what it was? It just increased, so I finally noticed it?
No, she actually repainted them and she did them all, redid them all.
Just recently?
For pride, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay. I was like, okay, I'm not just imagining this.
No, you're okay. You're just fine.
Oh, guys, thank you.
Look at how calm they are.
You know, they were,
Nice.
they got some runs
Girls.
today. I can't believe they're so.
Oh, they ran today. That's why I was like, they're super chill.
Well, that's,
She was here,
I'm getting ready to go home and take mine out to the park.
Aww. That sounds good.
So anyways, I think what you're saying is correct. The problem is what would have, the difference is between, because again, a racist back then in America was most likely uneducated. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you mix in all these educated Germans, and then the Germans then implement, then it's they're actually good. Hazy, get down. Come on now.
Oh my god, you guys.
Hey, both of you. Chill. So, then the Germans, it keeps it up in the actual, because usually education takes it out. That's one of the things that usually happens, especially back then.
But it depends on what you're being educated.
I know.
Yeah, I was
but
gonna
that's
say
my
the
point.
Ivy League people were super racist.
Hey,
I feel like the more money you had, the more racist you were
I
back
guess
then.
you're probably
To a certain
right.
point, you're right. Especially back then.
Yeah, especially
Look at
especially if you were a landowner and you had slaves.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, but isn't the generation that they produced was the hippies. That's my point.
Now who produced?
The
My
ones that mixed with the Germans.
It would have been my grandparents.
But that was the
because my mom
U.S.
was
The
a hippie.
hippie thing was U.S.
I know it was, but it happened after World War II. So that means that when the Germans showed up in 45, 46, they have families, they have kids. They're going to be.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They're going to be at the age of you, basically.
Yeah, but they kept that hidden because they didn't want repercussions. It wasn't like they were over there, I'm German and I'm this and
No,
that.
I know they had to hide who they were.
Yeah, just
I
like
know
the
this
Jews
stuff.
did. Change their names and shit like that. Crazy stuff.
I feel like my family had to do that because we're German, and my name
Oh,
spelling
sure.
changed when they came to America.
Believe it or not, my 23andMe says I'm 38% German. I have no African in me at all. I'm 38% German, then I'm like 26% Irish, and like 18% English.
Huh?
Yeah. There's no African in my genealogy. That's crazy, ain't it? Yeah. I got it at home. 23andMe. I did the swab and all that.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, crazy.
Good Lord.
The world is crazy.
The world is